Today we're going to talk about functions versus not a function. So a function is a one-to-one relationship. That means each x number only gets one y number. So each x only goes to one y. So if we start by looking at ordered pairs, now in here I have written in 4 ordered pairs. So I would like you to please write those on your piece of paper. You can go ahead and pause the video if you need some time to write those down. So why these are a function over here is because each x number only has one y number. 3 is an x and it only goes to 2. We don't see 3 as another x in any of the ordered pairs. 4 is an x and it only has one y. 5 is an x and it only has one y. 6 is an x and it only has one y. So each x value only has one y value. Now if we look over at not a function and we look at our x and our y's, we have x is 3, y is 2, and then we have x is 3, y is 4. So here 3 gets 2 and it gets 4, which is not okay in a function. That can't happen. It can only go to one y value. So x value of 3 has 2 y values, which is not okay. A function means each x value only gets one y value. It can only have a 1 value that would come out for y. So that's what we'll be looking at for each of these. So if we look down at a table, if we look at our table, on the function side, we should only see each x value one time. So if we look, 4 is only listed once, 5, 6, and 7, and they're each going to their own y value. So for our explanation is each x value has only one y value. So each number for x only has one number for y. Now if we look over at our table, if we look at our x column, we see 4 is listed twice. 4 is going to 1 and 4 is going to 5. Which again is not okay for a function. 4 cannot go to 1 and a 5. It can only go to one number. So our x value of 4 has 2 y values, and that's not okay. Can't have that. It's not allowed to happen. Alright, if we continue on, a mapping diagram. So a mapping diagram maps the domain, your x values, to your range, your y values. So if you would like to fill in your mapping, as I have filled in mine, on your piece of paper, again, if you need time to pause it, that's okay. Then if we look, we have to look at the function side, and we have to see that each x value, so 2, 3, 4, and 5, map to only one y value. Now if you look, 4 and 5 both go to 8. Oh, excuse me. 4 and 3 both go to 8. So 3, our input of 3 and our input of 4 both go to 8. That's okay because each x is going to one y. So each x value has only one y value. That's our explanation. As long as each x goes to one y, we're okay. Now if we look at the not a function and we follow the mapping, we see that 4 goes to 7, so that's okay. That's 1x to 1y. 8 goes to 5. Again, that's okay. 1x to 1y. But if we look at 5, 5 is going to both 2 and 9. Now that is not okay. 5 cannot go to both 2 and 9. So that's why it's not a function, and it's because our x value of 5 has 2 y values. It can't have 2 y values. So that's how you tell for a mapping diagram. And then lastly, we have our graphs. Now, I have 2 graphs drawn on there. Now, if you copy them on your paper, they don't have to be exactly, but just get the general shape. The straight up U here on the left, and then on the right, the sideways kind of looking like a C. Now, for graphs, we have a different way of testing for a function. We have what's called the vertical line test. Now, what that means is you're going to draw a vertical line through your function, and as long as the line only goes through one point, it passes the vertical line test. So anytime we draw a vertical line, we would only go through one point. So passes the vertical line test, which means it goes through one point. Now, if we go over to our not a function, if we draw a vertical line through this function, we go through 2 points. So this means it does not pass the vertical line test. I'm going to abbreviate vertical line test as VLT because it goes through 2 points. That should be a common theme in the not a function. If your x goes to 2 y values, or if your vertical line goes through 2 points, 2 or more points. If it went through 3 points, it still wouldn't be a function. It can only go through 1 point to pass the vertical line test. Because remember, each x value can only have 1 y value. All right, that's all the notes for today. Please close your Chromebook and go see Miss Tidrick for your activity for the day.